Hi, Grace the Book Lady here, and I have a Kwanzaa story today. It's called Little Rabbits, Kwanzaa, and it's by Donna L. Washington, and it's illustrated by Shane W. Evans. There's the cover. Here we go. Little Rabbit was not having a good Kwanzaa. Being the littlest rabbit in the family wasn't easy. He couldn't remember the names of all the days. He wasn't allowed to light the candles. His brothers and sisters made wonderful gifts to share. Little Rabbit was too embarrassed to share his gifts. He hated being the youngest. He was always in the way, and everyone told him he was too little to help. There's everybody enjoying themselves and setting up. And he's all the way over here all by himself. Poor little rabbit. The only part of Kwanzaa that he really loved was the big feast called Karamu. This year he wasn't even going to have that. Grandma Rabbit was sick. She lay in bed all day drinking dandelion tea. Mama Rabbit was so busy taking care of her, she had no time to cook. Mama, if Grandma Rabbit is sick, who'll make the feast of Karamu? Little Rabbit asked his mother. Shame on you, Little Rabbit, said his mama. Grandma Rabbit is sick, and all you can think about is your stomach. Go outside. There's Grandma. She's all sick. She's drinking her tea. And Mama's admonishing Little Rabbit and sending him outside. Little Rabbit hopped out and sat on a big gnarled tree stump. He really wanted to go and talk to Grandma Rabbit. She was very wise. Little Rabbit sat and thought. He thought about all the things that Grandma had said to him about Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is a special time when we help each other. That's what Grandma Rabbit said. That's it. Little Rabbit jumped up and danced around. I'll bring Grandma Rabbit a special treat for Karamu. That will make her feel better. There he is thinking. And there he is when he's come up with his idea. Little Rabbit hopped down the road. Where are you going so fast? Mama Oriole asked Little Rabbit. I'm going to find a tasty treat for Grandma Rabbit. She's sick, and I want her to have a good Karamu. Little Rabbit hopped away. Mama Oriole didn't know what Karamu was, but she knew Grandma Rabbit. Grandma Rabbit always brought out warm seed cakes and worm pudding when the weather got cold. Poor Grandma Rabbit, Mama Oriole said. I wish there was something I could do to help. So there's Little Rabbit and Mama Oriole. And there she is with her family, brainstorming on ideas to help Grandma Rabbit. Little Rabbit stopped by the side of the path. He looked under some logs to see if he could find something special for Grandma Rabbit. What are you doing, Little Rabbit? Asked the groundhog, sticking his head out of a patch of grass. I'm trying to find a zwadi for Grandma Rabbit. She's sick. I want her to feel better. Little Rabbit hopped off. Groundhog didn't know what a zwadi was. He knew Grandma Rabbit. She always had time to make little toys for the animals when they were bored. Poor Grandma Rabbit. I wish there was something I could do to help. So there's the groundhog, and there's Rabbit going away, hopping away. And now the groundhog is thinking about what he can do for Grandma. Little Rabbit hopped down to the pond. Maybe he could find something pretty for Grandma Rabbit. What are you doing, Little Rabbit? Asked the frogs. I'm looking for something pretty for Grandma Rabbit. She's sick. She should have something pretty to hang on the wall at Kwanzaa time. Little Rabbit scratched an ear and hopped away. The frogs didn't know anything about Kwanzaa time, but they knew Grandma Rabbit She could paint beautiful pictures and write wonderful poems. Poor Granny Rabbit, one of the frogs said. I wish there was something we could do to help. There he is. And there are the frogs. Now they're thinking about what they can do for Grandma. Little Rabbit hopped through the field looking for berries. Where are you going, Little Rabbit? Mama Field Mouse asked. She was dragging all of her children behind her. Grandma Rabbit is sick. I'm going to make sure she has a good caramoo. I'm going to find as many berries as I can. Little Rabbit looked proud as he hopped through the meadow. Mama Field Mouse didn't know anything about Kwanzaa, but she knew Grandma Rabbit. Grandma Rabbit helped out with the children when Mama Field Mouse had to run errands. Poor Grandma Rabbit, said Mama Field Mouse. I wish there was something I could do to help. So there he is meeting the family. And now the family's thinking about what they can do for Grandma Rabbit. Little Rabbit scampered through the trees. Good morning, Little Rabbit, said Papa Squirrel. Why are you sniffing around the trees? I'm looking for something to give Grandma Rabbit. She's sick. I want her to have a good Kwanzaa. Little Rabbit hopped away. Papa Squirrel didn't know anything about Kwanzaa, but he knew Grandma Rabbit. She always helped him gather nuts in the fall. She even helped him remember where he hid them. Poor Grandma Rabbit, said Papa Squirrel. I wish there was something I could do to help. And now, Papa Squirrel was thinking about Grandma Rabbit. Little Rabbit spent the whole day trying to find something for Grandma Rabbit. He searched as hard as he could, but he didn't find anything at all. He was very sad. I guess I'm too little to do anything. As the sun was setting, he hopped slowly home. When he opened the door, he had a big surprise. So there's the setting sun, and Little Rabbit is so sad. He couldn't do anything for Grandma. I wonder what the surprise is. Everyone was there. Granny Rabbit was sitting in a big chair with a huge smile on her face. The frogs had brought pink flowers from the lily pads. Mama and Papa Spider hung them from the ceiling like lanterns. Mama Oriole was conducting a fine chorus of birds. Groundhog brought little toys and gifts for everyone. Mama Field Mouse had gotten together with Mama Possum and Mama Raccoon to make a delicious feast. The air was full of excitement. Mama Rabbit served the plates, and Little Rabbit ate until he thought he would burst. Wow! He made a lovely Kwanzaa feast. How nice. After that, Papa Rabbit told funny stories about Brer Rabbit, Anasazi the Spider, Guinea Fowl, and Mosquito. The stories made everyone laugh. Then Papa Spider plucked on his web strings. Cricket got out his fiddle, and all the animals had a wonderful dance. Grandma Rabbit taught everyone a new word. Harambe, she called. And as her friends danced, it means pull together. We don't need anyone to tell us that, said Papa Squirrel. We already pull together. Everyone laughed and shouted, Harambe, Harambe, Harambe. And there's everyone dancing. When the caramel was over, Little Rabbit sat with Grandma in the big chair. Why are you so sad, Little Rabbit? His Grandma asked. Didn't you have a good time? Yes, said Little Rabbit quietly, but I wanted to do something special for you. Grandma Rabbit just laughed. Oh, silly Rabbit. She hugged Little Rabbit tight. If you hadn't gone off looking for Caramoo this morning, it would never have found its way here tonight. So there they are, talking. And Little Rabbit did do something. He did help with the Caramoo. Little Rabbit frowned. But I'm the only one who didn't have anything to share. Grandma smiled. You shared your dream, Little Rabbit, and your dream brought all our friends and neighbors together. That's a big thing. Little Rabbit felt proud. My dream did all that? Yes. I'm not surprised, though, said Grandma. Why not? Little Rabbit asked. There they are. Because I have faith in you. If you have faith, Little Rabbit, there's always hope. Oh, I'll try to remember that, said Little Rabbit, yawning. By the way, said Grandma Rabbit, snuggling him close, this was the best Kwanzaa ever. And there they are, hugging each other. And that was Little Rabbit's Kwanzaa by Donna Washington and Shane W. Evans. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time. Bye.